XD. So anyway, this is the third time. This is the third time that I'm going to interview one of the people that I call the 20 hashtag the 20. As I always say at the beginning of one of these interviews, is I tried a lot of things. I tried to go to a lot of stream crews. I tried to go to a lot of Discord servers, and I started getting kind of frustrated, feeling like I was spending a lot of time in there. And not that I was really looking for a bunch in return, but just to get nothing really in return sucked. So on the 1st of January, I decided to pick about 20 people, which I still haven't even filled that in. But along the way, I started out with really the people that I noticed were coming to my streams, were hanging out with me, and were supporting me. And one of those people was xAngryGaming. So the concept of this is that I try to follow, sub, promote, hang out, tweet, whatever I can, and I ask them for nothing in return. And then I've asked each one of them if they want to. I'd love to do an interview to get to know them better, because the reality is on our streams, we talk a lot about ourselves, but the reality is we don't really talk about too much deep shit. So with that said, Angry, tell us what part of the world you're from. You don't have to be too specific. Start for
East
starters.
Coast.
So you're on the East Coast. He has a little bit of an accent. Could be from many places on the East Coast, if people don't know. What's the earliest game that you can remember playing when you were a kid?
Ooh. Well, that could be. I'd have to go with Mario for the NES. When I played Pong, I played them all, man.
Pong, wow. And so, like, what was your favorite game growing up then? Was it Super Mario Brothers? Was it Legend of Zelda? Like, what
Zelda,
game?
definitely.
You were cracked out on Zelda as much as you possibly could play it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then, like, how old do you think you were when you first started, like, when you first got into, like, a Sega or a PlayStation and you started playing actually, like, first-person shooters and stuff?
I'd say when the N64 first came out.
And what game were you playing on the N64 that, like, was
GoldenEye.
GoldenEye
For sure.
So, like, I heard of that game. I don't think I ever played it. I think I was out chasing girls by the time N64 came out. So I think I was done, like, with that phase myself. All right. So then, tell us a little bit about like when you started to find out about streaming. Like, how long ago was that? Like, what sparked your interest at the time? What made you think to yourself, man, this looks interesting?
I'd say probably about a good 8 years ago, but I didn't get into it until about 5 or 6 years ago. And I did it temporarily as like a short stunt, and then I kind of just steered away from it. Like, I've had a Twitch channel for fucking ever. I just never used it.
Right.
Until just like a couple months ago, almost a year ago.
Gotcha. And what were your first impressions like when you first started, like, to see people streaming video games and thought about doing it yourself? Like, what crossed your mind? Focus your camera.
Oh, dude, I thought it was awesome. I was like, dude, I need to try to find a way to make a living at doing this.
Wow. Angry, focus your camera. Your camera's out of focus.
My camera's out of focus?
I think it's because you... There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Oh.
Looks fine. Looks fine. Good.
Stay.
So then, talk a little bit about, if you can, if you're willing to, talk about what kind of kid you were when you grew up then. Like, how often were you able to play video games? Were you involved in a ton of sports? Were you...
Oh, shit. I was always into, like, I was in bowling, or cross country, track. But we got out of high school, man. Or even school in general. Like, I think I started playing. We were, like, heavy at my friend's house, like, maybe early middle school.
Yeah.
And we were constantly over at my friend's house playing N64, NES, whatever.
Now, you and I are a little bit different in age, but we're older guys. Were you a latchkey kid? Was there anybody watching you when you got out of school, or were you on your own?
Oof. I was pretty much, like, on my own, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Tell us something about yourself that you're willing to tell us that you've never told anyone on stream that we would be interested to know about you. Other than the fact that you don't have a camera stand, what could you tell us?
Well, surprisingly, actually, when I got out of high school, I was going to go and join the Marine Corps, but for physical reasons, I could not do that. And then I wanted to get into a state-of-the-art gaming college, which my parents could not afford. So
Wow.
I never got into that. Plus, the price was way too high, and a lot of people probably know or have heard of it, including yourself. And it's called Full Sail University.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to design video games.
Interesting. Your camera's fuzzy again, by the way.
I am so sorry. Yeah, just the fucking hair.
You're gonna hold it. Okay. This will be
That
the
works.
live action interview. All right, man. So obviously, it sounds like you had some passion for like gaming, not only playing them, but you were interested in designing them. Is your life today, your day job, if you will, does it have anything to do with computers, building games, or electronics, or are you just a regular old Joe doing a 9 to 5 job? You know, around
Actually, I'm
town.
just a regular old Joe being a stay-at-home dad and trying to make some money
Really?
on the side doing this, proving my wife wrong that it is possible.
Wow, wow. And tell us about that, man. Like, tell me about like some of the conversations you've had with your wife since you started streaming. Tell me what some of those sounded like, um, so that I can commiserate with you as well.
She's like, "Oh, you're not going to make money doing that," or blah blah blah. Or I was like, when I told her like how many followers I started getting, she's like, okay.
And
It's
then
like if you can make money, I was like, I'll believe it when I see it. Like, okay.
I know that a lot of us know this already, but tell us a little bit about how you started streaming. Like, what finally made you think to yourself, you know, man, I'm just going to do this. And I know that you started on Mixer, I believe, right?
Indeed.
Okay, tell us
I
like
ac-
when you made that decision, you thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. Fuck it.
well, I started streaming on Twitch actually, and then
Oh, interesting.
I was probably my first week. I did maybe 40 plus hours. I did like
Jeez.
maybe 6 days, like 8 hours a day. I probably had maybe 4 followers and like 30 views. And I was like, this is rough. I was like, I wasn't gonna give up on it. And then my buddy told me about Mixer, and then so I literally switched and did the exact same stream schedule the following week on Mixer, and my channel blew up with like 100 followers and like over 1,000 views in like the first week. So I
Wow.
stuck with it, and I was actually going to push for partner, which at the time before they switched their terms for partner and requirements, I believe I was at like close to 400 followers, and
Wow.
requirement at the time was minimum of 750 followers. And then I was kind of getting excited for it, and then they bumped up the requirements to like I think 2,500 or something.
Jeez
So I was like,
Louise.
yeah, fuck that. So
Wow.
then when I noticed I was following you guys and a couple other people on Twitch at the time, actually no, it was before I met you guys. There was a couple regulars that I was following on Twitch just for certain video game titles, for inside scoops and whatnot. And I noticed I had like 16 followers. I was like, fuck, I don't even stream. I was like, let's try to push for affiliate, and here we are.
Right on, man. How tell us a little bit about your shtick, man. Tell us about Angry Gaming, the Angry Bird. Tell us the story, the origin of the Angry Bird.
Oh, the origin of the Angry Bird. Well, it actually started, my original Xbox gamer tag was, as corny as it sounds, Ice Venom, and I got that from multiple different things, and it goes back to my old Diablo days from my Blizzard account. And that account actually got hacked and stolen, and I never was able to retrieve it because I never had my old password because I switched emails. And long story short, blah blah blah. When I started my new account, I was originally known as the Angry Bird 99. So it just too many numbers. Streaming didn't work well because nobody wants to look up a bunch of numbers on fucking
Right.
Twitch or Mixer. So I was like, I need to change, rebrand myself. So I kind of created the Angry Bird, which was, a lot of different names were taken that I wanted to use, and I kind of created xAngryGaming, and how Angry Bird came to be, which I kind of actually still get made fun of till this day, because people think I created the name because I am in love with the Angry Birds game, which I absolutely despise. I hate the stupid thing. But I created the name because my last name just happens to be a bird, and I tend to get angry sometimes when I play, which a lot of you people have seen me do in the past, or like you like to come into my channel and joke about that, he's angry, but he's the kind, gentle soul.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, man. Like, and this certainly isn't an interview about me, but like, I'll give you an example, man. I really upset this kid last night. I was playing duos with him. And those of you guys that have gotten to know me, man, I'm just a loud guy anyway. I always seem like I'm upset and angry and yelling, but I'm really not. That's just me. I just yell a lot. So that's definitely one of the things that drew me to you in the beginning, was that I sensed that you weren't seriously upset, but that you were seriously upset, but it wasn't like you were over it like in a second. Like, okay, move on to the next thing. Fucking goddamn it, so all right, so that's a good indicator there. So then let's talk about how funny you are, man. Let's talk about your hilarity, that apparently you're not aware of the fact of how funny you are. So about, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 ago, I'm playing Fortnite as I always am. I'm on stream, and Cosmic comes into my channel and he says, "Dude, Angry is playing Fortnite for the first time." He literally was downloading it on his stream. He got into the game. He's like, "You've got to come see this. This is absolutely priceless." And so I'm like, "Really?" So I'm this guy plays Destiny 2. He plays The Division. He plays mostly Destiny 2 is what I saw you play for a long time. So I cruise over to his stream and I'm watching him, and it is just strictly comedy. Because if you're a Fortnite player like me, we're kind of a serious breed, everything's kind of serious, the way you talk about the game. And Angry's in there going, "Oh, a magic box." And we're like, "What is he talking about?" He's like, "Oh, this thing over here. Oh, what does this thing do? Oh my god, this is cool." And it's like he's a little kid just walking through the Fortnite game, calling everything by the wrong name, totally insulting to anyone that would play Fortnite. And after 3 or 4 days though, he got pretty good at the game. And so we're like, "Dude, we gotta play with Angry, dude." So we get into some games with you, and you literally have said some of the funniest shit of all time, dude. And I don't know if you know the one I'm talking about, bro. But
yep, the apples.
The apples are. Can you tell us about what really happened with he's eating apples? He's eating apples. Can you tell us what happened there? Can you tell us if that was just a natural thing, or if you really thought it out?
No, it was a natural thing, because they literally sounded like you said you were eating assholes. So I had to do a double take, and I repeated it, and then I put a comedy emphasis on it. So there you go.
And so for those of you that don't know, man, we're in a game. I get knocked in the game, and I see this guy, and he's not killing me yet. He's not going to thirst me. But I'm like, "Hurry, you guys, this guy, he's over here, he's eating apples." And then Angry, literally a second later goes, "What? He's eating assholes?" And me and Cosmic and whoever else, I think we were playing maybe with Scissors at the time, just lost it, man. I mean, we could not stop talking about it. We could not stop laughing about it till this very day, actually, to be honest with you. It's actually a quote in my channel. If you ever hit the quote, and I'm sure Cosmic will tell us what number quote it is, it actually says he's eating assholes, and then it says by Angry. Yeah, man, so yeah.
He's eating assholes.
Yeah. So, it's interesting, man. So you already kind of answered the question, but I want to talk a little bit more about it. It's interesting that your humor is so dark, and yet you're so adverse to people criticizing you in your channel. Tell me a little bit about how you deal with some of these trolls, if you will, but at the same time remain calm, and then 2 minutes later, you'll just miss a shot and you'll go ballistic. Can you tell me how that happens? How a guy ripping you a new ass, calling you fat, old, and bald, or whatever it is, or you suck, and you're nice as pie to them, and then 2 minutes later, you're like, "You motherfucker! I can't believe you killed." Can you tell me can you tell us how that happens?
Well, surprisingly, all throughout my years growing up when I was younger, I was bullied a lot because of my size. I did not hit my growth spurt till I was a sophomore in high school.
Wow.
Like I
Okay.
was literally below 5 foot. It was pretty
As
rough.
was I, man. As was I. I can identify with that.
And I have a really bad case of ADD, so mix that with a lot of shit, and yeah, it. So over the years, I just learned to just look at people and just not give a fuck. Like I'll tell it like it is, and then so I learned to just you know put my own spin on life and reality, and I just don't care. It's just what I mean. Like I don't let shit bother me anymore,
And
except
then,
for like stupid shit.
yeah, no. So like, basically, someone could like come into your house and mess it up, and no big deal. But you break a shoelace, and you're ready to commit suicide at that point. Basically, I get it. I totally get it. Um, Tell us a little bit about your status in the community, man. Like you, one of the reasons I chose you early on was because I noticed that you were always hanging out in my channel, and even if it was just a lurk here and there was always a little conversation. Tell me like where that comes from, man. How did that develop for you? Why did you become a guy who was interested in hanging out and getting to know other people in their streams? I mean, some people don't understand that that's how you really grow your own stream, but tell us what your thought process was, or just tell us about what it is about you that makes you, do that.
Well, like you said, just it's growing a community, and not to mention, like I only attach myself to like communities that not only help each other out, but are also, they want to grow friendships and everything else. They pretty much like I don't know how you want to like people that I can relate to. Not to mention that I like their content. Like I don't just like hop in somebody's stream and just be like, hey, like some of these people that we've been getting, hey, can you come to my channel and watch my shit? And like, no, that's just rude. It's like knocking on somebody's door, being a Jehovah's Witness. Be like, can I
Whoa,
talk to you about
whoa.
Jesus Christ?
Oh, no. We're going to have to edit that out later. Okay. Hey, man, I'm a Jehovah's Witness. I can't believe you were talking about. I'm just kidding. um,
I fuck with them people too. They come knocking on my door and they say, can I interest you in Jesus Christ? I was like, can I interest you in the devil? I never see them again.
So, for those of you that watch this, that's the epitome of what this guy's stream is like, man. He just
I'm a
randomly.
sarcastic asshole.
There it is, man. That's the best way to put it. So, a couple more questions, man, then we'll let you stop holding the phone here. Um, tell me, tell me what really inspires you, man, and like, what is the thing that inspires you the most and continues to make you want to wake up, every day and think to yourself, man, I'm gonna go on and stream tonight for a bunch of people that might be mean to me or that might be nice to me. Like, what's driving this, man? What, if anything, is driving that, or is you're kind of like
My
your
pretty much my passion for gaming, and then now just recently, um, since I've had my son and he's almost 2,
okay?
like it's just another way that I want to try and provide for them and help my wife out in the future.
Oh, nice. That was nice. And then
So
I don't know if I have anything else for you, man. I just wanted to say thank you for, you know, letting me, hashtag the 20 on you all the time. I mean, really, other than that, I try not to do any kind of promotion and make it seem like this is about me. It's because it's really not. And I say it all the
I
time
don't
in my
know.
stream. It's really about you guys, growing your guys' channel. And if I can even get, an extra follower here and there, or somebody to sub to you, or someone to check you out that didn't know about you before, that's really what drives me. That's my passion. And so, really, man, thanks a lot, dude. You and I are late night guys usually. And it's funny because
Yeah,
your late night's actually like 3 or 4 in the morning for me, which is funny. But we regularly raid each other and host each other at night because we're the only two left. So I know that I really appreciate you, man. I would never ask you what
same here,
I
brother.
would
Same
never
here.
ask you what your real name is. If you ever want to tell me, Ian, it's okay to call you that. I will. But I care about you, man. I care about your channel. I care about you and your family. I just wanted to give an opportunity for people that maybe didn't know a few things about you to know it. So when we're done with it, man, I'll throw this thing up on the Twitter. I'll throw this thing up on
Hell
the
yeah, dude.
Instagram. I'll throw it up on my Twitch channel, and hopefully we'll get a couple more people to come over and check out the Angry Bird. And thank you very much for letting me do this for you tonight, man. And that's it.
Well, thanks for having me, bro.
Anytime, Angry. Anytime, man.